Hello. This is Erica, and I had the most interesting experience. My audio. I have a guy that helps me with my graphics and things like that, and he's like, Erica, your voice is really soft on some of these episodes, and you need to make it louder. And so I bought a brand new microphone. I recorded and it was still recording super softly. So I thought that was fascinating. Fortunately, the technology allows me to make it louder, but I found that fascinating that my voice was so quiet. Yeah. Like, what is that? Right. And if you are sort of a future seer, if you have within you that you can perceive the future, if you tend to be ahead of trends, you choose something 6 months later, everyone else does. My podcast started like 3 years before podcasts became so, hot. If you find yourself in that edge of cutting edgedness, then it's possible that you are invisible to those who don't get where you are. They don't perceive you yet. They don't understand you yet. So later, later it will become clear. Like, in the future, things will become clear why you chose that, why you were nudged to do that, why you accepted the challenge of that, why you enrolled in the program of that. So sometimes you're shown these. One of the teachers I like is Glenise Hughes, and she says like they're little whispers. They're little whispers in her ear. They're little suggestions of inspired action that you could take. And when you pay attention to the inspired action, you're moving into the future, but you're paving the way for others who can't see it yet, right? And so I'm guessing because you're listening, and I'm just going to honor you with listening to a podcast that's this crazy, that's this wild, that's this like untethered and unashamed of being just so strange, right? I'm just completely myself on this. I don't even have like a set intention of doing it. I just podcast because I wish to change myself, and I wish to explore being in creation myself. And so there's something, it's a leap of faith, and it's agreeing to be on the foremost sort of like edge of where others will eventually be. Yes. Like I met on Zoom and Skype years ago, like years before it became something, years before the COVID, years before things moved into this. And I taught with, teleclasses in 2007. So there's this like awareness of reaching around the globe and helping people in all walks of life and all corners of the world that showed up for me. It wasn't even like, it wasn't even deliberate. It was just me being me, and then finding those around the world that I would connect with. And I remember I had a client in Singapore, so interesting. She was so fascinating. And she had trouble finding people like in Singapore to meet and to do her classes. And I looked at that with her and I said, well, how important is it that they be in your city? Like how important is it that they be physically in your same time zone? Is that really important? Because when you release the need to have, I had the same experience with someone, I think she was in Australia or New Zealand, one of those two. And she just wanted classes so bad. She wanted to teach classes so bad. And it was hard for her to get people to meet in her town. It was a very small town. I was like, that's so interesting. And I understood like the desire to have people meet in your physical space. Like there's nothing wrong with that desire. And when you get into a level of calibration, you can actually, people will travel from all over the world to see you. And I remember sitting one time, it was Brendan Burchard was in Santa Clara, California. And someone offered me a ticket, and at the last minute I went. It was so fun. And there were 800 people in the room, and at least 300 had traveled from somewhere else in the world to come to learn from him. And I sat there with that, and it was so fascinating to me that his course could be so potent that it would bring people through the airlines and into the space of beingness in the physical reality with him. I thought that was so cool. And yet for me, I like teaching virtually. So I think my point as I walk through this experience is that we want to let go of the rigidity of needing things to be a certain way when we're on that cutting edge of the future. When we're perceiving things that aren't really done yet and aren't really known yet, and we're seeing it done, and we're behaving as if it's like imperfect and unreasonable and ridiculous and joyful, and it just shows up, and it's like, how could that happen? How could I buy a house? Really, you guys, how could I buy a house? I have 3 teenagers I've raised on my own. I didn't come from family money. I came from starving writers. We're very proud of their poverty, and I agreed to poverty when I was born to them, and I had to let go of that agreement. How was that serving me? So where is it that you could forgive everyone else for not getting you yet? And there's this thing when you love yourself, when you love your courses, when you love your coaching, when you love your creations unabashedly, without shame, without apology. And I've seen this as I publish, 70 or 80 people in their books. The people who love their books just completely, those books are going to be more successful. The people who are sure of the quality of their books, those people are going to be more successful. The books will be more successful. There's this unwavering belief of you that only you can bring to you. And it's not easy if you're on that cutting edge. So forgive yourself for being a futuristic soul. Forgive yourself for seeing things that aren't seen yet, for perceiving things that aren't perceived yet, for taking a path and then sitting there and going, why am I alone? Like, why am I here? It's so crickets. Like, it's so crickets. If you're not English speaking native, that means like you're like singing a song, and then instead of hearing clapping and people buying it, you hear like little crickets in the backyard. That's what crickets means. I know sometimes I use American terms, and I need to remember that my listeners are all over the world. So I'd like to challenge you to take your future creations and make a really good container for them, and keep investing in them, and invest in them when no one else is, and invest in them with complete, unabashed, unapologetic love. Like this podcast, like, I just love it. I love it. I built it. I love it. Here's the cool thing. I'm recording this now, and it's airing weeks later because I'm going to be moving to the beach, and the podcast needs to have a life, and I need to be physically moving. And so I'm recording it ahead of time. So how beautiful is that? So my future Erica is actually going to be traveling while you're listening to this episode. So just kind of play with the energy of that. Like, how many times have you chosen something that would be a hit in the future and then negated it because you couldn't see the evidence, or tore it down, or didn't believe in it? And I'm just getting this like big hallelujah energy around this. Yeah. So that comes back. The thing that's showing up for me to say from this is trusting yourself. So I think I just feel like a little 6-minute meditation today. So let's do a 6-minute meditation, but I might go over. So I'm going to seek to do a 6-minute meditation on trusting yourself. So relax. Take a deep breath. Mm, so juicy. I love all your energy today, by the way. I could perceive it, even though, even though that doesn't make any sense. So bring the blue earth energy up to the balls of your feet. Blue earth energy, good. Bring light energy from the heavens down into your head. Nice. Breathe and just let go. Let go of needing to be anything or do anything or have others like you or have likes on social media. Just let go of any requirement that you do or be anything different than who you are right now. So nice. Allow that aspect of yourself that sees the future to be unfettered, uncanny, unapologetic, brilliant. Release any need for anyone else to sanction you, sanction your behavior, sanction your beliefs. Oh, wow. Yeah. And that part of you that's been asking to be honored, let's just honor that now. Just honor that part of you that people say, "Oh, you're so strange," or "How did you know that?" Or "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you even." I've been thinking that too. Oh, I've been seeing that too. Oh, I know. I've been wondering what to do with that insight. Fuel cell cars? I don't even know what that means. But yeah, there you go. Oh, that's so good. Yeah. Just trust you in this moment more than you've ever trusted anything. Trust your knowing. Trust your desires. Trust your intentions. Trust your capacities. You have capacities that no one has perceived yet. I'm just saying, everyone does, so you do too. Capacities do you have that you've never acknowledged? Whew. Wow. Oh my gosh. Wow. What questions could you ask of you that would liven up your life? How can I have more fun today? How can I be more of me today? What choices can I make today? Who can I meet with? Who can I call? Who can I talk to? What can I celebrate today that I may have forgotten to celebrate about myself? Just in this moment, regarding all the places you've been, all the places you're going, let's just shift into trusting. Whew. Wow. And if you have a chance today, open up a journal. I have a brand new journal in the car. I have to go open it. It's still shrink wrapped. I love new journals. I like them with blank pages. I don't like the lines. And I draw and I put my money things in there, like how much money I'm making and how much money I'm saving. Yeah. Uh, I keep it by my bed and I write down my dreams. I had some strange dreams yesterday, that's for sure. Go ahead and just invite that future that you can't see yet. Invite your all knowing self to come to the table and be all knowing. Whatever you were doing that where you kept asking for validation from others, see if you can let that release itself just a portion. Like we can't do it all at once. We still need approval so bad, right? But sometimes let's just let go of the need for approval just a teens, just a little bit less approval required, and a little bit more sanctioning for who you are. Thank you so much for listening to my show. I so appreciate you. Do something for you today. Do something that, even if it's a hot bath or even if it's a walk, maybe it's time to spend with your kids or your horses or your dogs or your kitties, or maybe it's paying off a debt. I don't know what it is. Do something that sanctions you to you, that tells you that you're on your path. A little thing, a little thing. You know what? There's a store, I'm pretty sure they're all over, called the Dollar Tree. One time, one time I spent $20 at the Dollar Tree. I got 20 things. And I looked at my bag and I was like, wow, that is so cool. Like I just bought 20 things, right? It's $20. And I just felt that feeling of I could have anything I want. Yeah. So shift into that today. Whew. Thank you so much. Hey, I'm getting that there are some back episodes you might want to listen to about clearing the third eye or the crown chakra. So if this episode was good for you, we were working on that area between our eyebrows and we're clearing that. And that's the good area to do. And you can go to ericaglessing.com if you'd like some one-on-one coaching in this area. Awesome. Have a great day.